What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here, and welcome into another video. We're going to be hopping into the Great League this time with a team that brought me all the way to expert from around the 2500 elo rating. So this team went on an absolute tear for me, but I will say this: if you're seeing a lot of Dragonairs, a lot of the Bastion Victory Belt cores, this team is not going to be for you in that elo range. I was just seeing a lot of things that this team could really perform well against. So, and that being in mind, if you're seeing a lot of those, I would not run this team. But if you are seeing that kind of off meta stuff, a lot of flyers, a lot of water types, then this team is going to be for you. That being said, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and the comment button, it really helps out the channel and it is greatly appreciated. So let's jump into these battles here. So Charjabug into Lantern, pretty decent matchup here. They're going to go for the Surfs. I should be going for the X-Scissor. It's the same amount of damage. And we get to the next X-Scissor after the 2 volt switches. So a little bit of a mistake on my end, since everything's going to be neutral. X-Scissor is just going to be the way to go. So they're going to end up swapping the Lickitung onto the X-Scissor, which is quite fine by me. So what I'm going to do is farm up just a bit more energy, go for the X-Scissor, put this into a range where a Thunderbolt or a Surf is going to knock out, and then come into my own Lantern. I'm going to take the Power Whip here. I don't really want to expend a shield, as Power Whip is not going to be KOing us from that health range. We're going to be able to get to the Surf. I left with a little bit of residual energy where I'm going to force my opponent to throw after a couple more sparks. That way they don't overfarm a crazy amount, and we can maybe make it to a move with our Charjabug. And our IVs are coming in clutch here onto our Lantern there, being able to survive that Thunderbolt. I will throw up a shield here. I do want to preserve this energy I have going for me, and they do have 2 shields left, and it ends up being a Skarmory in the back, so that shield was absolutely necessary. We do get a shield back, and now they come in with our Azumarill. This is a pretty even matchup, although I do think Skarmory now wins this matchup with the Steel Wing damage, so I'm gonna have to pull some fancy stuff out of my pocket here. Hopefully win this game. They're going to shield out the first Ice Beam, which is quite fine by me. I have to keep an eye on my switch clock timer. This is their last Pokemon. They can't switch out, so I have to make sure to hopefully catch a move here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shield this move. I'm going to wait a turn, swap into my Charjabug, catching the Sky Attack, winning us this game, because we are 1 bubble off of the Ice Beam. If I didn't wait a turn there, I would have been stuck in my bubble animation, and I wouldn't have been able to swap to catch that move, because 2 turn versus 3 turn fast move, I would have just been stuck, and they could have thrown their Sky Attack to take it out my Azumarill, and that would have been a good game, well played. But Bastion on lead. I come in with my Azumarill. They have a Cresselia in the back. This team is already very bulky that I have to play against. It is going to be a rough matchup. They got Grass Knot for us. We only have Play Rough, and Cresselia can take one. We did get a shield, which is quite nice. So I'm hoping maybe my Lantern could do something against that Bastion, but even then, without Water Gun, it's a pretty even matchup, because it takes about like 3 Surfs to knock out that freaking Bastion, and those Smackdowns are going to really add up. So another Grass Knot coming through. That is going to take care of the Azumarill. We're going to come back in with the Charjabug. Not really any point in throwing on like proper move timing, 2 versus 4 turn fast move. There isn't like a set move timing, because they're always going to sneak, or you're always going to sneak. So X's are going to KO the Cresselia. We're going to come in with the Lantern right away, because those Smackdowns are going to absolutely really chunk us. And now in comes a Medicham. I'm going to no shield this one. That was only 5 counters, so I know it's just a power up punch. But the issue with this is they are going to be ramping up their damage, and I need to preserve some health here on my Lantern, or else this game is just going to be over. So gonna throw the Thunderbolt, hoping that they no shield, but they correctly shield that. As long as I get to my Lantern very low where I can't get to multiple Surf, this game is just over. Thunderbolt doesn't even knock out. I'm forced to second shield a power up punch, which is absolutely brutal. Coming in with my Charjabug, but they realize that, coming back in with the Bastion on to catch the X-Scissor, and this game is over. I should just be top lifting, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go for another BM X-Scissor. Should be going for the discharge there, but good game, well played to my opponent. So hopping into the next matchup here, Charjabug into Lapras. Whoa, this is very spicy. Ice Shards are going to be doing neutral, Surf is neutral, but they did try to catch a discharge on the Cresselia. Thankfully, I held my energy, gone for the super effective X-Scissor, and I don't necessarily have to swap out of this matchup here. Considering I have that Lantern in the back, which is going to do super effective damage, I can no shield this Moonblast. We are going to live, get to another X Scissor, but I'm going to farm all the way down. Gonna shield this and have so much loaded energy coming out of this matchup that I really hope that it goes somewhere. They can't necessarily bring in their Lapras, so they decide to come into a Gligar, and I make a very bad mistake. I thought I was throwing on proper move timing, but since switch takes a turn, I threw after 5 bubbles, which is the proper move timing, but with the switch it messed up a little bit there, so kind of my fault. They are now 2 shields up with a Shadow Gligar in the back and a boosted defense Lapras. There is no way I'm farming this down before they get to another Skull Bash. Skull Bash is going to be coming in. Hopefully I can come back with my Charger Bug, get the full switch down, and I'm hoping I can get to 3 discharges, hopefully grab a shield off this Gligar, but I don't think that's going to happen. So coming with the discharge. Oh my gosh, we actually get a shield, and that is massive, completely massive. They did not have to shield that. That is a big mistake on their end. We actually live the Aerial Ace Azumarill, being a top G that it is, getting the last shield, and all we have to do is make it to a Surf, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Dig is not going to one hit KO Lantern. Lantern's super bulky, and they just expended energy on that Azumarill. So Surf is going to be coming in, knocking out that Gligar left, right, good night, and we take a game that we probably should have lost. Okay, hopping into the next matchup here. Mr. Chan facing up against me. Charger Bug leads. Can't really swap out of this matchup here, as my back 2 Pokemon do not want to see this thing. So I'm going to really hope that Lantern and Azumarill can clean up the back end of this matchup. So gonna no shield the first one. Don't really want to be the first person to shield it, as I do win CMP tie. I think it was a flip of a coin. Honestly, they should have won the second one, because I have 0 attack, which means they must have a zero attack. So I don't really technically know how that works. I guess it's just a flip of a coin and I just win all 3. Pretty unfortunate for my opponent, but you know, it is what it is. In comes a Lantern, and we're gonna be able to make it to a couple more X Scissors. I do learn from the first game, X Scissor is the way to go. Would have been able to make it to 1 more, but my opponent is actually forced to throw energy. Best case scenario, now I come in with my own Lantern. We are 1-to-1 shields. I do have a health advantage, but they do have an energy advantage, which is a little bit concerning. I'm thinking there's an Azumarill back there, so what I'm going to do is throw my Thunderbolt. I'm hoping to maybe catch another Thunderbolt onto my Azumarill, but we'll see what happens. In comes a Mantine. I'm going to bait here with the Surf. I should just be staying in. Honestly, I should just stay in, but I catch a move on my own Azumarill. We have a Surf locked and loaded. Water Pulse is not going to knock out, so what I'm going to do is farm up a boatload of energy, probably 2 about back-to-back moves here. I can't farm up back-to-back moves. One bubble off the play rough, but they decided to top left anyways, and that's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next matchup, terrible lead here. I'm going to hop into my Azumarill right away. I don't really have a solid response to a Gligar on the lead. If you can catch it on the swap, that is probably the best way you can do it. But since it's on the lead, you can't really stay in with the Charge Bug. I mean, you're doing resistant damage with every single one of your charge moves, and maybe you hop into your Lantern, so your softer counter. But I was hoping maybe I can come in with my Lantern in the side matchup and get a little bit of an energy advantage heading into the next matchup, so I can throw a couple of Surfs at that Gligar. But this doesn't really seem to be the case. So what I do is I try to double shield my Azumarill. I come in with my Charge Bug here to draw back out the Gligar, and hopefully I can make it to an Ice Beam to take it out. They throw the Dig right away, which is quite nice. And even from this health range, my Azumarill is going to live a Dig anyways. So it's really nice to have those bulky Pokemon to kind of like play around the switch clock, where you can come back in and hopefully take it out with an Ice Beam. We actually get a really low where 1 bubble is going to KO this Gligar, and one of the hardest counters to this team is now being taken out by 2 discharges and a Azumarill with really low health. So they decide to come back with a Lickitung. We're going to get this play rough off here, and then I should just stay in, but I didn't want to get fully licked down, and then they have 2 power-ups locked and loaded against my Lantern here. So I'm just going to get this thing out of here, get the Surf going here. Surf is going to take care of this Lickitung, and hopefully whatever's in the back my Lantern can handle, and it's a Poliwrath. And since we overfarmed by 1, we're going to be able to outpace the Thunderbolt. Left, right, good night to that Poliwrath. Energy management was key to winning that game there, and it's a 4-1 victory for that set. So hopping into my expert run, set here. Azumarill on the Charge Bug, absolutely amazing lead here. They hop into a Lickitung, and this is where a lot of players kind of get messed up here. They instantly swap into an Azumarill, thinking that okay, the Azumarill versus Azumarill matchup isn't very bad, but I have a little bit of an energy advantage against this Lickitung. So I can flip this matchup and I can have my Lantern on that Azumarill for later, which is what I'm gonna do, and hopefully keep my Azumarill for whatever's in the back that I can have play against. So we'll see. They do end up giving me full switch advantage, and there's a Sableye back there. So again, really glad I did not swap out into my Azumarill, because my Azumarill against the Sableye 1-to-1 shield should be able to win this matchup. I am gonna shield up I no shield the return. Okay, that's quite fine by me. And I'm just making sure that they don't catch a move. And now I have a Play Rough locked and loaded for when my Azumarill comes back in. I'm not gonna shield my Lantern at all. Just gonna make sure that they're on proper move timing, 1, 4, or 7, 2 versus 3 fast move, to make sure I maximize that energy, and I have energy coming out of this matchup. Good thing about Lantern is it survives 2 Play Roughs pretty comfortably. So you could no shield this as well, and then come into this matchup with an absolute massive energy advantage here. Get this Thunderbolt off against the Sableye. Sableye is pretty low. It's not gonna quite knock out, but a couple of sparks are gonna do the trick, and that's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent there. So hopping into the next matchup, Charge Bug into Dragonair. See, this is the matchups that I was talking about. You're gonna have a really rough time against a Dragonair on lead, because it's quite difficult to take it out, and they usually paired with the Lantern, so you can't necessarily swap into your Lantern. I think honestly the best way to play that matchup out is to just stay in with your Charge Bug, get as many X scissors off as you can, and then come in with your Azumarill, and hopefully they are weak in the back to a Lantern, because Lantern, their hardest counter to a Lantern is going to be their Dragonair, so there's no reason to think that they have another answer to it. But my thought process is I can swap out to Azumarill, they swap out, I can maybe get some energy advantage coming out of this matchup with my Charger Bug, but they kind of hard counter me with the Lantern. So my only really big hope here is that I can fully farm down with my Lantern here against this Dragonair. And honestly, what I should be doing, I should be taking in Body Slam, because if it is a Skarmory back there, which I thought it was, a Brave Bird is going to do almost as much as a Body Slam at that point in time. It ends up being a Dugong, and if I just save a shield there, I get to the Thunderbolt, I shield up the Drill Run, but they can Icy Wind bait me, but still, we get the 2 Thunderbolts, no problem. We should be able to farm down before they get to a second Drill Run, maybe. It would have been tight. We would have had a lot more health left over and maybe got to a Surf against that Dragonair, so kind of a misplay on my end there, but it is what it is. We learn from our mistakes and hopefully play better in the next round. So Magnezone lead, I can no shield the Wild Charge. It's going to be resisted, but it does so much freaking damage, it's insane. And they actually come in with a Gligar, which is completely fine by me. Hop into Azumarill. My Azumarill can eat a dig, no problem. I do want to come out of this matchup with a little bit of energy, so I'm going to throw 3 bubbles, no bubble a little bit, and hopefully I can get 1 more bubble, but that Ice Beam just chaos. Left, right, good night. Back in comes the Magnezone. We do end up getting an Ice Beam off, which is probably going to be getting the shield from my opponent, which is amazing. And hopefully we don't get to another one. They have so much energy, and all I can really do here is come in, throw the X scissors, and hopefully an X scissors is gonna knock out. They do Mirror Shot bait us, which is a little unfortunate, but from here I'm thinking, okay, if they do Wild Charge, I can just come in with my Lantern, get the full farm down, but they decide to bait us with the Mirror Shot, and we get the attack fall. So I'm swapping right away, hopefully to get a spark through, and it's a Cresselia back there, and this is just brutal. Oh my gosh. Oh, Grass Knot is going to be coming in. Actually, we have a shield advantage. What am I saying? This is not brutal at all. Oops, sorry, a little bit of lag there, I guess, but either way, we're gonna get to another Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is gonna do massive damage, and we should make it to 1 more Thunderbolt before they make it to 2 more Grass Knots. And this second Thunderbolt is gonna take out the Cresselia. Left, right, good night. That's gonna be a good game. Well played to my opponent. Whew. I'll be to the next matchup. So Charger Bug into Pelipper. Wow, what a lead. And they hop into a Superior. I don't tap my Volt Switch just in case they decide to hop into something. I wanted to swap into something right away, which ends up giving them 2 free Vine Whips. Little unfortunate, but this matchup is so in favor of Charger Bug that I guess I didn't really need it. I can shield up this move here. We already have another 2 X Scissors locked and loaded right now. So we can throw the first one, and I'm gonna throw the second one back to back just to see what they want to do here. First one gets no shielded. This one's probably gonna get the shield, and from here, all I need to do is get to another X Scissor. I will shield up my last one just to keep preserve switch advantage, because I really do want that Lantern on the Pelipper, and there's no reason for me to give up switch advantage at this point in time. Because they can't necessarily come back in with the Pelipper. They come back in with the Lantern, and I have so much health left that I'm gonna make it to multiple X Scissors. They can't shield because all shields are down. One more X Scissor is gonna put this thing deep into the red, and from here I could just come in with my Azumarill. My Azumarill is gonna put in work and take a Thunderbolt, throw a Play Rough. They decide to try to catch on the Pelipper. That didn't really work out so well for them. Again, throwing a proper move timing to make sure they don't catch a move is very key. So hopping into the final matchup of this video, amazing lead here. I don't have to swap out into the Sableye right away. What I'm gonna do is a little bit of chip and dip. So we end up grabbing a shield, which is amazing, which is gonna be key for this Azumarill matchup. I will shield up the potential return. I do want to keep my Azumarill kind of healthy because I do believe there's going to be a Whiscash back there. And if there's a Whiscash back there, we're going to have a little bit of problems if I don't keep my Azumarill alive. Well, now I have to be cognizant of my switch clock timer to make sure that it's going down decently. They're going to over farm a boatload of energy. I am going to shield here. I'm not going to throw my energy because I know after this move here, they throw the Brave Bird, which is massive on my end. I do end up shielding that. I come in with the Charge Bug and we sneak a Volt Switch. That is going to do so much damage. And now we have a couple of X Scissors that we can throw at this Whiscash here before we go down. Sorry, not a couple. They decided to throw energy, which is quite fine by me. I'm going to come in with my Azumarill, throw one bubble, throw the Ice Beam bait here. Hopefully they end up shielding this, which is amazing because now I can get to my Play Rough, and Play Rough is going to do massive damage onto this Whiscash. One Mud Bomb would have not knocked out, so they kind of had to double up here. And I don't think we're going to be able to even be knocked out from this either, no. But they decided to come in with their Skarmory, and from here, it's just GG's. Going to farm down, throw the Surf, and that's going to be a good game. And that win right there is going to take us all the way to Expert. You love to see it. 27-54. Went on an absolute tear with this team, so I hope you all try it out for yourselves. Have great experiences with it. Good luck on your sets tomorrow. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do because it really helps out the channel and it'll be greatly appreciated, and we will see everybody in the next video. Bye bye.